Mini Matters, a miniature painting podcast.
Well, everybody, welcome to the eighth. What is this? A podcast? Miniature painting podcast.
Yeah.
And we are back. And we of course, if you are listening, we are Albert. Oh no, we are Martin, Arnau, and Jamie with a special guest, Albert. So thank you, Albert, for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Good night, everyone.
Good night indeed. It is the evening. We don't often record. Oh yeah, and you too. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, just
not important.
Oh yeah,
the bird.
Well, you say that, Jamie, but in the past, when I was guest as well, a few times, we always used to do it in the night.
Yeah, we have switched, and I'll be honest, I think we like doing it in the day. It feels more lifting, less.
Yeah.
Fun. But indeed,
We have more energy, I think.
This confused and discombobulated when we record.
It's well, let's first do the intros on the episode. It is a Golden Demon special spanzer, and
Extravaganza.
Close enough.
there
Close
you go.
enough.
And I'm quite excited for this episode, and of course, I'm also excited for the Golden Demon trip. So we are currently the 5 best friends forever, and we should, in theory, be, when we finally meet up, the 7 best friends forever. I think.
I think we're 4.
What,
No, I think
five?
we're
And plus Mark. So it's only
and I'm
six.
saying the 4 of us are only 4 people, but we have 2 more people traveling with us.
So it's
Yeah,
6
that makes
best friends
sense.
forever. Okay.
That does make 6.
I what I did there is I saw 4 screens on the thing, right? And then I added myself there because I forgot that I'm actually one of those people that's on the screen.
I thought that's literally what happened. That you forgot that we're only 4.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Just wanted to help you out.
In a way, not mentioning it, but no, to be honest, I like mugging people off. Myself. So,
of course.
Golden Demon special, and it's getting closer. We're now the 8th of October at the time of recording, which means we're leaving in, 6 days?
No, thank God, a little
Slightly
more.
more than that, but it's 2
When is it?
weeks tomorrow or
A bit
something
less
like
than 2 weeks, right?
No, it's 2 weeks tomorrow.
Well, what
No,
day?
literally.
17th?
Because we're leaving on a Thursday, right?
We're leaving. No, Jamie, if you've bought tickets for the 17th, no, you're thinking about the other trip in November.
Right.
We're leaving on the 23rd. Leaving on the
23rd.
23rd, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, and it's a Thursday.
And that is
And we're going
Golden
to do
Demon.
nothing for
And
like
this is-
3 days, and then someone is going to win prizes on the
Yes.
Sunday.
Well, I'll tell you what we are going to do, boys, and I'm already excited about it, is we're going to go to that pizza shop 3 times in a row without fail, because there's no other restaurants there. Was that SMC? I'm pretty sure that was Essen.
Is that the one that we went
yeah.
with French guys, with Thibaut and all those guys?
We
last
went there
night?
with Maggie. We ate outside with the...
Yeah, the last.
Yeah. Where you had two what do they call it? The folded
Calzones.
pizzas. 2 calzones. You got 2 calzones, right?
Yeah.
Not 1, but 2 of them.
I'm probably
Being
gonna just-
outside was a bit shit, but inside was very nice because at midday there was no one and it was pretty chill
They
moment.
opened it for us because of the groundwork.
Actually, yes.
Yeah. So genuinely, that's probably the peak of what I'm looking forward to food-wise, of course. But yes, Golden Demon. So the episode today, obviously we've got Albert coming in. And the reason we brought Albert in is basically we wanted him on the show. We knew that already because, well, we know Albert very well, obviously. Best friends forever. You don't get that title for nothing unless you're like
That's right.
some guy who comes in for one day and then he'll be that best friend forever for that day. But then it's gone.
Move on.
Yeah. But it aligned. We got some insight. We got some things. What we've got for you, Albert, we've got a tailor-made, it's a big deal, fastest race car for you.
Oh, wow, okay.
We've got some Q&As asked by the community of pretty much riffraff, the scum, basically. The dregs of society have got together and they've asked you some questions. So that's good. Thanks, guys, for that. And then we've got a Would You Rather Golden Demon base. We might not have Grotbusters. I've not made that work yet, if I'm honest. I've told you what I came up with for that, and it's not looking good because
This is already an incredibly full episode. It's the GD episode. It's the Albert episode.
It's fine,
like
yeah.
It
I'm
shouldn't be
saying-
my episode. It should be the But Jamie, so are we checking
overlap.
the Games Workshop release cycle as well, and and all that stuff?
well, hold on, Albert.
That's always there. That's
Hold
always
on.
there.
That's always
hold
there,
on.
right?
We've also got the meat of it. Now, the wheat of it is it can flow, it can ebb. That's fine. It's why we keep going back to Golden Demon. It's been now 20 years since we've been going, and the future of Golden Demon.
some of us, I mean, yeah. the event itself has been going a bit longer than that.
That was my first, but that was Youngbloods.
That's still 26 years ago, but sure.
That's crazy. I went there in
I had a baby.
2001 for the first time.
Yeah. So
2000 was my first.
Jesus,
My first one was 2012.
you're pathetic, Anna. Get out, mate. 2012.
The crucial thing about that though, Arnau has been to a games day.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hate
That's
Warhammer
all that
Fest.
counts.
So that's the future. We'll get there when we get there, right? And then we've obviously got the news. And then yes, we've got the optional things that we hopefully will get to. We've got Rebel Moon, Elder Project, Dan. I actually do have some real thing I want to tell everybody to watch. In fact, we can unpack that right now. Let's get in to the show. But I need to work out what the show was that I started watching. So let me quickly look that up. Netflix.com browse.
I actually forgot about Rebel Moon. I don't even know what was it. So I think
I know what
I'll have to watch it again.
Jesus, Anna.
I think
like
it's
a 4-hour
possible. I think we're going to get to Rebel Moon very, very soon. For all our eager listeners who want to hear us talk about Rebel Moon much more than miniature painting, that will happen very, very soon.
I mean, the people.
I don't even know what that is.
Well,
It's a show
okay,
now.
so here we go. Here's the news, all right, boys. We're jumping in. Do I have a thing for it? Hold on.
You need a whole thing. You just wanted to breeze this out of the way.
Right, there you go. That's the jingle for the news. Of course, that's a small, poor newspaper boy in the early 1800s, 1900s, right? Very similar to a chimney sweep kind of vibe is what you've got to have in your head.
Yeah. Victorian street urchin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pickpocket, but he's still a good kid. You know what I mean? Like, he's got hard times, but right. Anyway, so my news is literally, it's not quite anime because it's not anime. It's just animated, right? But there's a TV show called Pathogen. Is that have I said that right?
It says Pantheon, so I think it's
Pantheon, right?
Pantheon.
Close. Well, there you go. Don't look up Pantheon. Wait, what did I say? Don't look up Pathogen. It's Pantheon, which I don't know what that is. But I'm what episode? I'm on episode 3 or 4? 6. Wow.
Is it good?
That's captivating. If I'm on 6 already, it's amazing. So obviously this is not officially painting or anything, right? But I watched. Oh, man, they're so good. I know you two didn't like it, but it's a computer game, Cyberpunk, the TV show Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk is fucking amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I watched that.
You said you didn't like it, Arnau. You were like, I could.
I did. You are the. you remember everything so vividly. I said that it was amazing.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, it's an anime.
No?
It's not anime. It's animated. I think it's by.
It is anime.
Is it though?
It is.
It is for sure.
Okay, fine. Anime. It's like, it's very different from Dan to Dan, of course. It's a tragic story, but it's a really, really good. So what I think is happening with these shows that I'm watching. So you've got, what's that thing called I just said? Cyberpunk.
Pantheon?
Right? No, Cyberpunk.
Okay.
And then you had Terminator Ground Zero or something. That might be a real film, but you had an animated Terminator TV show, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it, but that is fucking fantastic.
Haven't watched it.
You piece of shit. Yeah. And then you've got this Pantheon, okay? And for me, they are up there with Dan to Dan in storytelling. But the thing that I think these shows are getting right is the music. The music it's so perfectly perfect. So
I think Cyberpunk is slightly over Dan, maybe. I mean, when I finished it,
I thought you hated it.
I felt I didn't.
It's so weird. I'm going to find those WhatsApp. You were so like, It might have been Lionel, in fairness. It might have been Lionel. Well, honestly, I didn't know you liked it.
I am very glad that we recruited Albert for this episode.
So we can move these 6 segments on, right? To get rid of it.
No, I mean it's fine. We should definitely spend more time talking about animated shows in this particular episode. I'm
The
saying,
Golden Demon
Golden
special.
Demon.
given that we haven't talked about animation at all for the last.
This is all a scheme to talk about to lure people here and then talk to them about anime. It's like we are not going to talk about.
Well, I
It's
fell for
like-
that, so
So did I.
So the point is, we're going to pause that and we'll continue next week because you are right, Martin. People because our IQ of our listeners is very low, right? So they're not able to like digest this kind of highbrow.
as far as we know, yeah,
Wow, I mean, look,
that's right. But also we should genuinely like you have now recommended the show Pantheon on Netflix. Every single person listening to this podcast, all 7 of you, watch
10.
every episode of Pantheon immediately.
7.
set 10. It's 10 now. It's gone up.
Yeah.
10?
Well,
It's a huge increase. That's like a 40% increase.
Jesus.
yeah. Arnau is just fawning over the crowds that are now apparently listening to every word he says.
Well, the funny
Holy
thing
shit.
is, there's this running joke that no one listens to you, but then Jamie walks around SMC and he keeps being stopped by people who are like, "I love your show."
That's the 10, and they're paid actors, Albert. So,
They know.
so we are gonna probably have to jump in. So, right, boys, let's do our Golden Demon updates. Right, I've got mine. It's pretty quick. I'm not entering anything.
How about the Zurban, Jamie?
Expected.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
sad.
I could enter a Zerman. I did, as I said, I spoke to Andy, and he was like, "Please don't enter a Zerman again." So
What does he get to say? What
it was just
he-
like you've
you
entered
don't
it
have to listen
6
to
years in
Andy.
a row now.
Yeah.
Did he actually, Jamie?
And we've got photos of every time, and we're sick of it. To be honest, he was like, "Keep it fresh, keep it real." He says, although that said, 20 quid in the bank for Golden Demon, it's not bad. So that's
You are going. I always think everyone should enter something, anything.
Oh, I'll be entering something. but,
Holy shit.
But I don't. No, I've got no real. I think the joke's gone really now. Not with the Zerman, but so for anybody who doesn't know, and that's probably everyone. Honestly, I painted an Zerman in 2019, a Forge World statue, like 120, sort of 13 centimeters or some shit. And I've entered it every year to Monty, and it's served its purpose. It's pissed some people off, but in a slightly humorous way. But those people don't actually like me, so that joke works. And then Golden Demon, I've entered it probably 2 or 3 times, right? And then the other times I've got the Elder Project, which is me painting stuff like 1999, and I've entered that stuff in, and I've never won, obviously, because the stuff's like not good. It's good for what I want. It's perfect for what I want. But it's not for Golden Demon. So I don't think there's any point in me entering, basically.
But for next year, because of your now rekindled
it's
love of
possible.
painting, as
Yeah.
we've discussed, you should absolutely consider entering something. Just
I mean,
paint
I
something
love
nice
Golden Demon.
the whole year.
Like it's. I would like to enter.
See, and we'll get to your love of Golden Demon as in the meat of it, because we all do, and we're all gonna probably
Exactly. I mean, that's why we
desperately
keep
keep
coming
going
back.
next year.
You know
When it's
what I
like-
think you should do, Jamie? You should do a modern version of your Youngbloods entry that you did originally when you first went to GD in '99.
Eldrad.
What was it, an Eldrad?
Eldrad.
It was a
Space
duel,
Marine.
right?
Yeah, it was a duel. Yeah, which I didn't realize was
It was a
illegal in Golden.
It was illegal to begin with.
You were a pioneer in the dual category.
But yeah, you could do a modern version of that, like a modern take of that same idea, like Soper did with his tank in the 90s, and then he did it in Nottingham.
So I should really
Do the
start
thing that Soper did, exactly like Soper,
and come back. Didn't it take him 6 years? How long did it take him?
at least.
Yeah, something like that.
Jesus, I don't want to spend that long. But yes, it's actually a good idea, and I do like the Eldrad sculpt. So Albert, GD
Yep.
update, just the update, no meat of it.
Yeah, I'm still working on my entry. I've had quite a lot of travel for work recently, which has kind of hindered my schedule. I'll get it done for sure, but I think some long nights await these coming couple of weeks.
Jesus.
I mean, it's pretty advanced, but there's a few things that I still need to finish properly. And it would be a pity to rush them, given how much time I've already invested in the piece. So
I mean,
Have you run into any issues, any situations you were not expecting, painting wise?
Yeah, in fact, I have, and these have been. It's something that I have not really encountered many times before, and it is changing the color scheme midway in the project. Like I'm painting this wizard, right? Like Cities of Sigmar. What do they call them? Like
Battle wizard.
like a battle wizard, right? Like
Oh, maybe they're not
collegiate
called that.
campaign,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And my original scheme, I painted the ropes differently, and then like I was 2 weeks in or something, and then I started from scratch again, which was a good decision because I like it so much better now. And then only recently there was this other component that I spent quite long painting, and then I decided to also change. I think, especially in comparison to my project last year, like the Orc Shaman, this one has been more difficult in color-wise, because the Orc, all the colors were kind of dictated by the materials, very straightforward. You know, like a leather cape, it's going to be brown, and then of course the shade of brown you can choose, right? But or a wooden crate on the floor, it's going to be brown as well. And you know, all the I mean, of course you can change things in one way or another, but I'm not.
But maybe not.
The
Yeah.
bold stuff, it's not going to be red, right? It's going to be a bony sort of color.
And here you're working with things like book, cape, like
yeah.
What are they called? Spines and glass bottles and things like that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can,
there's a lot of components which can be pretty much any color, right? So, it has been a bit more difficult to make everything work, but I'm quite happy with how it's turning out.
So,
but yeah, basically 2 more weeks of hard work, and then I'm already seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, which is great.
but you haven't had what Martin had like a month ago, where he suddenly realised he's not painted enough. A semi-panic. Would you agree that, Martin? I don't know if that's.
I think Albert did feel that way a month ago. I think.
That's what I was asking. No, I was asking if Albert did have that semi-panic the same as you.
By the sounds of it, a little bit.
A little, but no, not so much. I mean, I've just been painting till quite late the last few weeks, so to make up for.
I feel like you wrote in a message or other at one point that you were like, putting in a lot of late nights, a lot of long hours, and that was, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it actually made me think, damn, he's doing that now with like 5-6 weeks to go.
But that's because I think
it's kind of probably the good thing to do.
Yeah, I think I underestimated how long it would take me to paint all the detail, because this time the base is quite detailed, as you have seen. So, it's taken quite long. But happy that it's almost over now.
Indeed, right.
But how about yourselves? How's it going for you?
Now, what are you saying?
Arnau has reached a crucial point in his GD work.
Yeah, a bit later than I expected.
This is the funny thing. Today, some common friend of Arnau and I was asking, how are your projects? And I replied, I'm very close to finishing. And I said, and Arnau is very close to starting.
It's absolutely insane that that's actually true. That would be a funny joke, but it's literally true.
These updates, we only need to spend like 2 minutes each on these updates, by the way, because we've got big meeting and shit. So this is meant to be a quick, what's your thing doing? So
well, I don't have much update. It's just I haven't started yet.
But you have decided what to paint, haven't you?
That's it.
Yes, sort of.
Yes.
Because I'm going to SMC next week, so I don't have 2 weeks. I actually have 1 week and 2 days if I paint straight up of coming from SMC. So I really have 1 week. And
how is that not a given, or now? How is that not a given? Like painting straight from, after coming from SMC.
Well,
you will still give yourself a day of rest when you.
I expect to rest these 2 days. But if I have to use them, I will, of course. It's just that my idea was to finish everything right before going to SMC, because I'm coming on Monday, so Monday night, and then I will have Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I leave on Thursday. So I literally have 2 days, and I will be tired of driving 5 or 6 hours. So
driving, holy crap!
yeah, it's not ideal to work these 2 days. So if I can avoid it, I will. The thing is, when I was planning the piece a little bit with blue tag and stuff, and I kept adding things, and I actually I had to remove a few things of the ones I wanted to put like 4 or 5 Nurglings, but it's like, yeah, maybe not. So we will see if I have to remove something else.
And if anyone is keeping track of, sorry, Arnaud, to interrupt.
No. Go on.
If anyone's keeping track of what Arnaud said he was going to do like 2 weeks ago, it is no longer a Blood Angels chaplain, which explains the Nurglings. There might be some confusion there.
Yes, because
that would have been cool, but no.
The chaplain, even if the conversion is done, there's so many elements that I think I will not be able to finish it properly. So I prefer to do something slightly smaller or simpler. Although the base that I'm doing right now with a Nurgle Lord is nowhere near simpler. So I to be fair, I don't know. This year I'm literally playing with fire, but we will see.
Good.
And you, Martin?
Well, yeah, very quickly for Jamie's sake, we can move on from this completely uninteresting segment. I've made some progress. I've made some important breakthroughs, especially with the base. But mostly, I'm almost entirely finished with most of the miniatures. So I'm doing a Space Wolf squad, and like all the actual Space Marines are just about done. Just about. And I've that's it. I think I'm doing awesome. Okay. And so 2 weeks sounds both like a long time in the calendar, but also not enough by far. So especially I'm probably in an okay place.
When we record in the evenings, which is prime. I don't know when you do your painting actually, but yeah.
Whenever I can, literally.
That's it.
I've never spent this much time on painting, like, in a week, as I've done for the last month.
Wow. And you were full time.
Cool. How does it feel?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Literally more than full time.
That is crazy. So, thank you, boys. Let's quickly do the... And that, of course, is the jingle for Things I Hate. So this week's Things I Hate is, I'm sure, one more people can relate to than toothpaste in your eye. Did any of you flick toothpaste in your eye between now and last week?
No, not really.
I don't know if I'm doing toothpaste wrong, but this one's pretty easy. It's dropping things on a flat surface.
It's what?
Dropping things on a flat
Dropping
surface.
Things, yeah.
I cannot express how annoying I find this. It's like...
But you have to elaborate, I think.
Dropping anything.
Let's say a Warhammer base, okay? Without a model on it.
So something flat.
Yes.
Oh, you mean picking it up from a flat surface?
And you can't fucking pick it up. And you're like this, and then you smudge it, and then you lick your finger, and then it's too heavy, and then you slide it, and you're waiting for something like a slight divot so you can just fucking put your fingernail under it. I can't express how much I hate that. So let's get into the meat.
I share the sentiment.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
We might have to start tallying which ones you agree with. I'm vegetarian. And that, of course, is the jingle for the meat of it. Let's just do that one more time if you didn't hear. I'm vegetarian. There you go. That's voted by the listeners as their favourite jingle. So the meat of it.
Are you keeping this jingle to mess with us, or because you don't have the other ones? Are
you taking polls of what people think in secret? Are you just asking people on the street?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to. That was one of my segment ideas that I really, really want. I forgot I had that idea. It was fucking brilliant. It was called "What People Think About Stuff." So I was going to ask 100. I was going to ask 100 people these questions, and then you guys would have to say it's a real game show. I can't remember what it's called, and they're like, okay, things you wear at night, and then you would have to give the top.
That's from Family Feud.
Family Feud. Family Fortune.
That's from Family Feud.
And
yeah, maybe something else, but that's what it is.
But it was going to be about Warhammer stuff, right? So
That's brilliant. We should absolutely do that.
Yeah, it would have been a relatively. Anyway, I forgot about that. So the meat of it, boys, Golden Demon. So we slightly touched on it. I've been going 26 years, if your maths is correct. Albert, 24 years, I guess.
24 for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that like I went every single year, of course. But
No, I was going to ask, like, Jamie, have you went in 1999? When was the next time after that? Did you almost go every year?
Yeah, from 2016.
Right. Okay. So you did. Okay. So there was a slight break.
Yeah, I was disillusioned by GW's introduction of an Autark. I felt like it was very off cuff of second edition, and it made no sense that you would have multiple paths. And I was also I just found women and football.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually,
that part is, I think we can all relate. Well, many of us can relate to, not neither women or football or for everyone.
Martin, did you also have like a big gap?
I did, yeah, a little bit. I had my gap was I actually painted during that time, so it's like technically I never got out of it, but I did definitely have a time when I was like. But the first period as a teenager when Warhammer was everything, and then the grown-up bit where I'm still in, which was like 7 years later. So that gap was in Games Days and Golden Demoness as well. So I went in 2000 and then 2001, 2002, and then I actually worked there in 2003. But then I didn't go for 6 years, and then I went back.
Also,
with
it's interesting
the rest
because.
Of the Swedes.
Right, because you Swedes didn't have a Golden Demon of your own, right? So you had to travel to the UK every time.
That's right.
Yeah. In our case, we used to go obviously to the Spanish GD.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, then I started traveling to the French one and the UK one as well. But the first years, like the first 3 years or so, I went only to the Spanish one. And then
French
from
was
2000.
In that period,
the best as an experience, the UK one was the best by far.
Yeah, but
because they did it in the NIA or the NEC, and it was huge, absolutely gigantic, like 12,000 people or some crazy number. The years I went to the UK one, the first times I went, there were 3 halls at the NEC. They had the arena, the forum, and the pavilion, and each one is like this massive room. It's like the SN halls, right? But 3 of them. Games Day was taking up. Whereas the Spanish GD would be only one of those halls, if at that.
Like if the meat of it's why we keep coming back in the future, a little bit of the past. I find it slightly sad that we don't have like. I never liked Warhammer Fest in the first place, and that was probably just because I'm a Games Day guy. But there was such a big community around Games Day in my local GW, right? Like it was an event that the whole store bought into, right? So everybody knew. You went with your store, you got the bus together or coach or whatever, you built the banner together, you'd have evenings where you'd go, they'd invite you, they'd be like, everyone would come along, you'd do these, like...
So hold up, just for our listeners here, because I think, so I've been a staffer in one of those UK stores. Which was your local one, by the way, Jamie?
Brent Cross.
Okay, so just for our listeners, can you explain, you just mentioned making the banner. I know what you're talking about, but maybe they don't. Can you just explain that?
Basically, you just made a banner. No, but so each store would effectively make a banner, and you'd have like a theme or
like a life-size banner.
A life-size Warhammer standard, like ginormous. One of the banners from the game.
Yeah, and basically you would, when you entered the thing, you'd walk in proud with your banner, and that whole store, basically everyone who wanted to help build this thing would build it. And there were no limits to it. People would go fucking insane on these banners.
It was amazing.
Like I
they were huge, they were detailed, they were all connected to the games, and they were like, it was so cool to see. Some store they would do Chaos banners or Skaven banners or Elf banners.
And as far as I remember, then they awarded the best banner.
Exactly. They gave out a gift for it.
Big Space Marine statue trophy to the store who had done the best banner, like a massive, like 1 feet tall or 2 feet tall Space Marine bronze statue.
Like, so,
And there was also because this was connected to the trips that they would do, where the staff would get together one of those coaches, a bus from the store, and they would drive to Birmingham for Games Day with whoever wanted to come. Which, as Jamie, as you said, it was like this community event, which was amazing.
Also, I think it's worth mentioning that Games Day back then was a one-day affair. So
yeah, that's right.
You get there at 9 a.m. and then by 5 they were wrapping up, right? So it was 8 hours or however long of pure adrenaline and passion for Warhammer. There was no 3 days of being there, and
Yeah, I liked it. Like, that's what I'm trying to work out if it's just rose-tinted glasses looking back, but I genuinely don't think it is.
I only went to one in 2012 because when in 2013 they didn't do it in Barcelona anymore, and then they stopped. But I don't have that nostalgia thing for Games Day. I think it's incredibly better anyway, because I don't know if it was normal, but in that edition, every store had their own table with their own game. So, and that alone was already amazing. I played so many different custom games. I remember playing a Matrix, the third movie. Is it Revolution? Matrix Revolution inspired game where you had the Dreadnought and you had to kill all the Sentinels. And then another one that was some hobbits throwing pies to each other in a tavern. It was truly amazing. Like maybe 15 tables, every single one with special game designed
in Spain, right? Yeah.
In Barcelona was that.
They did this in Games Days as well. I remember one game where there was orc buggies racing, and they would move the terrain instead of the bikes, instead of the cars.
Isn't that cool? Come on.
So that basically like the terrain is whizzing by. Yeah, it was really clever.
Oh, wow.
Like the reason why I don't think it is just me looking back, because obviously you could argue I like old models and blah blah blah. The new ones are obviously better, etc. So there is actually an argument there. But for me, I feel like we've lost, and this is actually my main problem I have with modern society in general. Right? You walk down the street, right, and you walk past people, and you feel disgust at them because you can't say hello. You're not really allowed to interact with them. They're a human being, but you don't care about their life at all, right? Whereas. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something. Then,
yeah, it was bad, but I let you finish first because I think I will forget as to why we think Games Day used to be so much better, and it's related to what you were saying, and it is that.
Okay. Go on.
What's happening? Have we stopped?
Sorry. To go back, right? So basically, we live in cities, so you're surrounded by people more than ever, and you have people always there, but you're more alone than you've ever been, right? Let's say you live alone, or you know one person, or you know your family. So there's loneliness, but you're surrounded by people. So in theory, you should be more. And I kind of feel like going back a long time, you would have had tribes, villages, and you would have known everyone in your village. It's like when I used to go and visit my hometown, there's a population of 500 people, not hometown, but like where my parents lived, or dad. And you'd know most people there. You'd say hello to every single person, you'd get to know them, and you'd feel a companionship. And that's what I felt like with Golden Demon Games Day. I knew everyone in my store. We were all pulling together for something, and it was an event, right? And now Warhammer Fest, corporate bullshit. You go there, there's one or two cool things, but you don't know anyone, you don't care about anybody. It's built to sales and it's built to branding. My point is, I miss the days when you actually had something to, it's not fight for, but you had a purpose.
Yeah.
Right?
Because there's nothing to do either. Like in Warhammer Fest, there's literally nothing to do.
Yeah, they scrapped that.
And exactly. And that's what I was going to say. I think one of the main issues with Warhammer Fest was the fact that the studio was banned from attending.
Yeah. Oh, that was
because when we used to go to Games Day back in the day, a main factor that we were looking forward was meeting all the studio people, right? Because I mean, those guys were my heroes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And today's kids, their heroes are like TikTokers and YouTubers and whatever. But back then, it was the guys who featured in White Dwarf, right? Like the heavy metal painters and the sculptors. Because obviously artists would be would be named, right, in White Dwarf, like who had sculpted what and who had painted what and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you'd go there and you'd see unreleased greens, for example. They would have them in the cabinets, and you could see the illustrations as well.
They were actually
all the
sculpting
artwork.
there. I remember.
Yeah, they were sculpting.
They
on
were
site,
sculpting
and painting.
all the heavy metal guys. Like it was amazing, and the fact that because that they
It is almost a little frightening because of how big of a difference it made on me, or it made to me when I went there. Just those 3 first years, every year I got to speak to the heavy metal team, and it was like completely surreal, and like I had way too many questions to ask, obviously, every time I was there, and way too many things I could never understand. But even just the little 5-minute conversation I could get out of it, or however long they put up with me, it made such a big difference. And then coming back years later with chip on my shoulder and trying to enter Golden Demon and everything, still like meeting those people. I know people that are professional miniature designers now that would not be there. They would not work there if it wasn't for meeting other miniature designers at Games Day. Like, for
it
a
was
fact.
For people as well, right? Because people would show them
Exactly. Yeah.
amateur sculptors would
Yeah.
their greens and show them to
and it's happened so many
people.
times. Exactly. They would come there with their greens. They would show it to like Ali Morrison or Jazz or someone else, and they would get loads of input, loads of feedback, and sometimes they would get like, let's stay in touch.
Invite you in. Yeah.
And a lot of Golden Demon winners were kind of given a card from someone in the studio, like, you should hit us up for an heavy metal job. And I don't know, not having any of that, like completely abandoning that element, is worrying to me. That massive disconnect between the studio and the dregs.
So I guess rumor the future of Gold. This is GW. This is Golden. GW in general, isn't it? Not necessarily Golden Demon, but it's all the same day, isn't it?
Yeah, specifically this is related to like what's going on with the events, but it's true that Golden Demon isn't. Yeah, it's not synonymous with Games Days and Warhammer Fest. It's just that's kind of for all of us, that was sort of the main reason for going, and now I have no idea why anyone would go to a Warhammer Fest like the one in Manchester.
Yeah, if there wasn't a Golden
Demon. For any other reason.
Yeah. They had the tournament and they had Golden Demon, right? Yeah, I agree. I think that the Games Days were brilliant, and I think that the Warhammer. What was it? Games Day in Leicester, or was that a Warhammer Fest? I think
that was Warhammer
Fest.
Leicester. But in Leicester.
No, Coventry. You mean?
Oh, yeah, Coventry.
Yeah, they were still okay. You had the studio, you could talk. I remember meeting Simon again, Egon, and everyone there. Like, I didn't like where it was, but they were still to the roots, right? Still had painting courses, still had things, still had unreleased. Triss had her massive fucking Forge World dragon, the beast, and it created a connection. Golden Demon though. So,
why do we keep coming back? Right, that's the question.
Yes, well, it's also the future. So we have. I mean, it's good conversation. I know we shouldn't just shit on good conversation, but it's more about. For me, I kind of feel like the reason why we go back is because of what it meant to us in our childhood. AKA,
I totally agree.
Yeah. If you got into painting last week, would you really go? Like, I'm interested by the motivation of the young kids. There's a lot of those. There's just some amazing young bloods, basically. I know they've raised the age limit now at 16 instead of 14, and I do think those 2 years makes a big difference on what you can deliver. Irrespective of that, I still think their quality is very high.
But you can totally tell how painting miniatures is a hobby that is aging quite badly. Because when I used to enter GD and I was a Youngbloods kid myself,
stacked as fuck.
It was the largest of them all. It was like 500 entries in Youngbloods. It was gigantic. And you go now to Essen, and Youngbloods has maybe 20 entries, 15 to 20 entries.
There were
400, 500, man. It was huge when I was a kid.
But there's a lot of people that's coming to the hobby and they are already like 20, 30 years old. But there's a lot of people coming to the hobby. The thing is that they are coming in a later age.
Yeah.
Just because the younger...
For sure. But what Jamie was mentioning before, I do wonder as well, like people who only started painting during COVID, for example, or like a couple of years ago or whatever, and they're super motivated to go to Golden Demon. But it makes me wonder, like, how do they perceive Golden Demon, right? Because
I think
they don't have all these
They didn't have the
old
white
memories of how it
dwarfs
used
and-
to
I do perceive it like it, because I'm not. I only went to one games day in my life, and then I went to in the 2012, and then I stopped until 2018, which is already the new in
new,
Coventry. So I actually don't have any nostalgia for Golden Demon. I literally go because of the figures and because of you guys. So it's the best trip in the year, because we go and have fun and look at models, and it's
And because you
the
don't go to Monte.
Yes.
Shots fired.
Yeah, well,
I think this year. I think the scales have completely tipped for me to where it's very easy to motivate going just to see you guys and also others to a much lesser extent. That's like
It's a holiday,
and I
isn't it? Basically.
yeah, and it's like I know both are now, and I touched on this last week or the week before, is that if we show up to the place we're staying, and Mesa Essen collapses and Golden Demon is cancelled, the trip would pretty much be fine. I would be totally happy with that.
Completely.
It would suck to, for the Golden Demon entry. It's like, damn, I don't get to compete. But actually, I would still get to see all of you guys. I'd still have my entry that I've worked on to a deadline, and I got to see everything that you guys have painted. I would be totally fine with that.
Martin, if you went to either GD or Monte and it went along, it's not like it was cancelled.
Yeah.
And you attended both, but in one of them you could not enter, so you were just there as an observer. Which one would it be more hurtful not to be entering?
Well, Monte, no, I mean Golden Demon. I kind of have to enter Golden Demon.
GD without entering.
Yeah,
because I would feel so jealous that I'm not there in the cabinets. Whereas for Monte, obviously I'm still entering every time I go, but I think I could definitely enjoy Monte more without entering, because
I get what you're saying.
And then there's the
Lionel doesn't want
And I guess that's where the kind of the nostalgia and stuff that you guys are talking about, the sort of providence of what Golden Demon has meant to us before, that's where that comes in, is where I'm not going without entering something. It's like such an event for me, this yearly thing. It has to happen, and why I also want it to be a certain way because of how it used to be or whatever. But it's true. I would obviously be sad if I couldn't enter or didn't, but I think it helps me a little bit with the potential like disappointment of maybe not winning something as well, is to kind of remind myself that like that's really not why I'm going. Because if it's kind of,
You went for a while to compete, right? More than like with Stian.
it's a good question. I think I'm always competing in the sense that I'm trying my best. I'm not just bringing along whatever I've happened to have painted. I've always done things for Golden Demon and really tried to paint my best, do something cool. But yeah, I've been going there every year since 2011 now, competing every year except the pandemic years, obviously. So yeah, pretty much as often as I can.
For fun though, as I think, I mean, it's interesting. Like, so why do we keep coming back? Like, I'm obviously not competing, but for 4 years I did, or 3 years I did compete in earnest, and it was because of how much I untold hours reading White Dwarfs. Like, I think there's probably like a 24 White Dwarf period where I wasn't a great reader, right? I'm shit at reading, especially at that age, but I still managed to break the White Dwarfs from flicking them so much between the months, right? Like, I wasn't reading like the articles in depth and stuff. I was just, I don't know, it was just like a visual experience, I guess. And I was reading, but I wasn't, but that was the main thing, right? Like hunting down old White Dwarfs with Golden Demons in there, and there was no websites, and it was like this weird, and you talk to people and no one in my local knew anything about Golden Demon really. They're all shit at painting.
Yeah, You're basically describing my own experience.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's important to mention here that back then, Golden Demon was pretty much the only fantasy competition out there, right? So it's not like you had the choice to go to Monte or to go to SMC or to go to anywhere. If you painted fantasy miniatures, you went to GD, and that was that, right? You didn't have the option to go anywhere else. I think maybe Euromilitaire was the first which introduced a fantasy category, but that was quite late.
Was that
That's
UK?
around the time Chris Clayton won, in Folkestone. That's when Chris Clayton won the best of show, more or less.
Is that troll thing that he built?
No, it was I think a St. George killing the dragon.
Okay.
But that was about because all the other shows you had like Soldat Diplom in Girona, you had Leon Rampante in Madrid or wherever it was in Spain, like you had Aosta in Italy, you had so many contests, but they were only historical based. So GD was really where all fantasy artists used to gather. And that's what made it special.
When they did GW in Nottingham, basically this show is part bitching, part reminiscing, and that's kind because I loved it at Warhammer World, and we had all the star study people came back. Arnau failed miserably. Everyone else did really well. Like, I still think you should get at that, Arnau. Like,
Good times.
to not get a pin, it's beautifully awful in how it's in.
I actually thought about bringing it back, but it's
Absolutely bring it back.
Nah, I will not.
You've got literally nothing
Absolutely
to do.
bring
It's
it.
your pride that's stopping you. That's what that is. That's ego. I brought the same model 5 years in a row now. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that you should bring it like 20 more and become a legend of Golden Demon. Like there will be no Golden Demon without a Sherman in the cabinet.
I had exactly this conversation about one of my previous entries, which isn't even that old, about entering it again, and someone said like, well, maybe it's just that a lot of people might not have seen this at all, and I thought actually that's a good point. It might be cool
But
to just
for
have
me
it in the
though,
cabinet.
the question is, would these old entries represent your current level? Because if they don't, then I wouldn't be comfortable entering them. You know what I mean? I want to enter my best.
Yeah, but if it's last year's, then
of
or
course.
2
That's what I'm
years
thinking.
ago.
This is exactly like Arnaud, you're talking about your Mephiston, right?
No, about Dante, but I wouldn't bring anything that is not like 1 year old or 2 years old. I would consider. No, I would never bring.
Like
No, like that's exactly my point, right? You wouldn't bring something that is quite old, even if you've never.
No. The only exception is a Sherman.
yeah, right.
Oh, in the case of Jamie, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I was thinking, when did Arnaud paint an Azurman,
I may paint one, and then I'll keep expanding the legend of Jamie, and I will.
I've actually got that. No, you couldn't. We couldn't do a Taskmaster on a model that big. I've got those. That
would be the Taskmaster for the years.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of us paint this is Erman because that model is still decent from Simon. Like
it is really.
It's like it's amazing that like you can look at some of the other sculpts from that era. Like this, I'm talking about the Forge World large scale model.
Yeah, the large scale stuff. They're from 99, I guess, 99, 2000
to like 2006 ish, right? And some of them are not as good as others.
Some are really bad, and some are really, really good.
But there are very few that are really good. I will say, like as in, they were amazing then because there was nothing else big. Anyway, Golden Demon. So
just going back to the original question, wouldn't you agree then that the reason we are coming back to Golden Demon is because of the fear of missing out? Imagine if we all went and we ourselves didn't, like Tony this year. Tony is
he's dying right now.
He's crying in the corner.
Annoyed? Is he actually sad?
Well, he just had a kid, but he is very sad.
Mate, I've got 2 kids.
Because he is not coming.
And I don't even enter and I'm going. And that's a semi-joke. Everyone's situation's different. But he is weak and feeble, basically. So, like, do you know what I mean?
But Arnaud, you're totally on point because as you know, before I started my entry, I was debating myself whether to do this piece or a big piece for Monte, right? And in the end, I went for the Wizard because Adepticon happened. And I saw everyone going to Adepticon, and I felt a massive FOMO. And I was like, okay, you need to do GD.
And don't you think that the huge increase in popularity of Golden Demon is exactly because of this? That everyone is seeing how we are going, we are having fun, we are talking about it, and then everyone wants to join in this. Because in the last 3 years, after the pandemic, the popularity has been growing up considerably.
You're talking specifically about my YouTube videos, right? And how they're creating that buzz and that hubbub with the 400
Yeah,
views.
that's exactly what I was thinking about, of course.
Because there's about 500 people that enter Golden Demon, so the viewers are there. There's definitely a correlation.
I mean, your Frozen video is, peak cinema.
It is perfect, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know how I managed to. I caught lightning in a bottle with that video. You know,
the Manchester one, the Manchester.
Manchester one. I retired after that. Like, it's like a direct.
You did. In fact, I had to force you to finish that one off, right?
It took me like 11 months before. So
it was worth it though, James.
The thing is, I don't have FOMO for that. Like, I've missed MSMC, and I don't miss not going to SMC at all. And I'm still
but we are talking about GD, not SMC.
Yeah, I think Arnaud has a point there. It's weird.
It is not.
But apparently it's not. At least for myself, and I guess for Albert and Arnaud as well. Well, Albert just said, like, you could have done something for Monte, and you decided to do GD.
He had to. There was no world where he could have done Monte. Monte means nothing. It's an accolade on a. It's
No.
No. It is my opinion. I'm not saying you guys don't have to share that opinion, but for me, winning Monte doesn't mean anything, right? Getting your name on a plaque on a fucking wall and getting a huge statue, and you're immortalized. Tell me the winner of the Best of Fantasy from 2014. You don't know, right? Tell me the fucking Slayer Sword winner from 2016. You probably could give me a good guess, right?
David Soper.
Yeah.
So that for me is the reason why. Okay, maybe you're right. Fear of missing out.
I honestly just think that's what it is for whatever reason. And this is something I said.
Proper thing that's been going for.
I was saying this to someone last year. Is like, you know, even as shit as Golden Demon gets, I'll probably still go, and I'll be like the last person there.
Of course, I don't give a shit about the judging. I mean, I will still go because it's not about the price. It's not about the price. It's about
journey.
Entering. No, it's about painting. It's about entering. It's about the sharing. The price is literally at the very end of it, and it's
and about being inspired as well by all the different pieces.
Yeah,
of course.
Things that you wouldn't do yourself, and cool ideas that maybe even if in execution they're not the most perfect or the best painted or whatever, as ideas they're still really cool.
The dogs last year. He had the dog trainer who was going through the polls. There were the polls.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
He didn't win He didn't win a pin.
Yeah.
Well, he got moved right from squad to diorama.
So what?
Maybe he was,
but still,
it's irrelevant. It was still.
It was one of my favorites. Yeah,
it's very well done.
Yeah, I told him at Freakworks that it was one of my favorites, and I was very, very angry that he didn't get the pin.
It's weird. I that's another thing that feels. I don't know if it's to do with the popularity, but it feels like the build up to GD gets bigger every year. That the kind of hype these few weeks before get more exciting, and it's kind of pensive, like almost sharing stuff that we do, and you know,
without a doubt,
hyping it.
And in fact, I was talking with her now this morning in a WhatsApp group that we have. But there's this guy in Spain who is keeping track of potential entrants to each category in his toilet wall. Have you spoken about this in this podcast? So this guy keeps track of. This guy has he's basically like single fantasy, and then all these people, like he has a list of 20 people, and then squad
for the game, and then like shares online or
just from Instagram and shares online and whatever. But he keeps track of who's going to enter in his toilet, right? Like this level of madness you wouldn't see with Monte or with SMC, right?
Is that so he knows which category to enter, like to give him the best chance of winning?
He doesn't go.
No, he doesn't go himself. which makes it even weirder, right? But
that is weird.
the point is that it's exactly what you guys are saying, right? The passion that GD somehow manages to build up is just unparalleled.
I think it's because it's the hobby that we all love the most. It's the reason why we're here. 40k fantasy, blah blah blah, whatever. And it's that on a hyped up level, and the standards amazing. And it's just 3 days you get to live, breathe, and talk that, basically. Or just meet up with your mates and go and buy pizza. But it's still in the universe that you like, compared to Monty, which is everything. Like, I go to Monty, and I'm not an artist, so I see a lot of the stuff, and the stuff I notice the most is the 40k stuff, for sure. Like, my favourite piece last year was that Blood Angels large-scale thing, with the Tyranids.
Yeah, I remember. That was like a Space Hulk scene, right?
Yeah. Which I thought was amazing.
It was amazing, yeah.
And I asked him if he did it, but I didn't have the balls to be like, can I just have your STLs, please? Because I would print a Space Marine up that fucking big. It would have been amazing. I didn't know. Anyway. So
incidentally, Jamie, sorry to digress here, but what happened with your 1 meter tall
I broke it. I fell off the window.
You broke it.
It literally fell from there, and it crashed into 1 million pieces. And that was nearly a year ago. I basically threw a tea towel back into the kitchen, and it just caught this fleck of the side of his sword, because the sword is legitimately like 90 centimeters. And then it was fine, and I was like, oh, thank God. And then it just slowly went, and I was like, no. And then it went.
But you should print it again, man. It was the most amazing statue ever. If you printed that in bronze with patina and stuff, it would be like an insane thing to have at home.
I should print 3, and we should do them for Taskmasters.
Imagine that.
They knew it was coming. But yeah.
Digression over.
Yeah, so we know why we keep coming back, basically. It's the only competition that's worth shit, and everyone loves it.
But no, I think against the other competitions, because I love the other competitions.
Yeah,
it's a different.
But specifically talking about GD, for me, it's related to childhood memories. That's for sure. In my particular case,
I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy as well. That we all like it. We all go. We all talk about it, and then people who don't want to join in, and then it grows, and we all fear of missing out, and then it's like it keeps growing because
it's a feedback loop. Basically,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, and the banter aside, on the other competitions, I think what it is, and important to say why people go, is the other competitions are you're playing it, you're fighting against yourself, you're competing against yourself, right? Golden Demon's the only one really where it's the top 3. So like, they're not shit, obviously, they're really good, but you know that if you're good, you're going to win gold. So it's relatively boring.
But also it's not only that. I feel like nobody gives a shit who wins at SMC. At GD, everyone is talking about it before and after for a week at least. And all the pictures get shared. There's WhatsApp groups fuming. So, but with SMC and Monty, it's just 1 day after it. If so, nobody gives a shit because it's not important.
Because there's no competition. That's why I feel that's the case.
And there's even more than one best of show, right?
Yeah,
most of those. Yeah, which I don't know. There's something really simple about Golden Demon that I like. For anyone who's aware of the different GW worlds, and then you've got your single, you've got your squad, and then a Slayer sword is just one Slayer sword. There's just something really pure about it that I think.
And also SMC and Monty are more niche.
Yeah.
So even more niche than GD, which is more mainstream.
Yeah,
they're just totally different experiences for me.
Yeah,
and I love them equally, but they're just very different.
Well, actually, that's not true. I was about to say you wouldn't put the same effort into those, but you absolutely did.
Well, my biggest piece ever is the dwarf, and that was for World Expo, right?
So I take it back. And then the future of Golden Demon. So I'm slightly worried about it. I mean, I was more worried about it before when it left the UK and then it went to Germany, and I was outraged by that because I am a patriarch. Not a patriarch. I mean, I am a bloke. I'm a patriot. And I do like England, even though it left. And I kind of felt like you had, whatever it was, 38 years in the UK, and then they were like, fuck it, we'll go to Germany. And I thought they were like really getting stuff back. They were going to do in English, and they did a Germany, right, and then they did the US, and I was like, oh shit, we're going to start going back to and then they were like, no, fuck that, we'll just do America and Essen. And I kind of feel like if there's no real gain, it's not money wise, but for the company, then they'd scrap it, basically.
I think,
which is insane, because we are all here in part because of Golden Demon. We were inspired by Golden Demon, and we are absolute obsessed people with Games Workshop, partly thanks to yes, but you know, it's free publicity. It's not only free publicity, it's the best publicity ever, because they are models extremely cared for, new, converted. There's, you know,
if I was like a businessman, I'd be like, who am I targeting with this, right? Like, the average person isn't going to see Golden Demon things and think, the fuck, that's what I want to play. They're much more going to be captivated by the game rather than Golden Demon.
Yeah, of course, but that it's a massive marketing campaign. Obviously, I'm not saying that everyone that sees Golden Demon will enter Golden Demon. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they get inspired by it and they just want to buy something. I think it's the only thing that matters.
It's also too. It's weird too, because it's such a hard thing to measure. I mean, you're right, Jamie. It's from a very, very strict business sense. If you look at the sales of one model, like correlating to whether or not it won a Golden Demon. I mean, first of all, unless it's released 5 minutes ago, they're not even measuring it. And aside from that, no, you're not going to see a big blip. But like, I think if you check with staff in the Warhammer stores, you'll definitely see a lot of people coming in after Golden Demon saying, oh, which model is this? Or, yeah, I was really excited by it. I want to do something like this myself. I want to start this army. Like, that is absolutely happening.
How are these random people who aren't into the hobby finding Golden Demon? It's not on. They don't have a website. There's one article on Warhammer Community.
There's a few articles.
There's stuff out there that you know, things might end up on someone's explore page if they're into like D&D or
and everyone is
video games.
talking about it in Reddit.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I don't think winning pieces have really an impact in sales at all. But cool models are a good promotion, you know, in any case. So.
Yeah, it's like any publicity campaign. You obviously cannot measure the sales of an ad campaign of the brand, but all companies spend an unbelievable amount of their budget into publicity. It's the most important part of any company. And Golden Demon is such an easy. I mean, understand me. It's an easy way of campaigning because everyone's doing the job for you.
All you have to do is put up the cabinets, really. And,
yeah, exactly. So I think it would be so stupid to not keep doing it.
Well, they didn't do it for how long did we have? 2 years break, was it? 3 years?
That was specifically for lockdown. They literally couldn't rent any venues to do a Warhammer
There was
Fest.
a year where they could have done it, and they were like, "Nah, let's just not do it."
Yeah, there was 1 year, only 2015, I think it was, where there was no Games Day and no Golden Demon at all.
Yeah, they were
But that's when
2015, they did mini demons.
they don't count.
Well, but
they still had events. They still gave out Golden Demons. I mean, it was.
There is 1 year. There is 1 year where there was no classic.
It might be 2015 that didn't have one.
I think so, right? Because 14, I think Richard Gray won the sword.
Yeah, and that was like September, October 2014 is Rich Gray's.
I basically don't consider canon, like they're not canon in like mini demons. They
I agree.
They don't count in.
No, but I'm saying like if we're talking about whether or not they count or not, if we're talking about Games Workshop's attitude to having the event, they still said we should do something with Golden Demon in 2015 is what I'm saying. They didn't go, fuck it, let's not have a Golden Demon. They said, fuck it, let's have three.
The more reading into it then is what they've done here with Essen and moving to Essen and like it's not cheap Essen, right? Like
no, but I think the original idea of Games Workshop was to bring it to UK Games Expo. But then apparently they it didn't go well or whatever, and then they ended up in Essen.
Yeah, because they didn't want.
But I think originally they wanted to do it in the UK. That's what the rumor has.
There's so much more exposure to doing it in Essen than at Warhammer World for them as a company, which is sad.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have all the foot traffic, right, of unrelated people who walk past the cabinet.
I don't hate it that it's there. Obviously, I would prefer much, like 100 million times to make it in Warhammer World. But the thing that it's in Germany with going outside, flights, road trip, whatever, that's some sort of fun too. I wish they did both.
Though, if it was in Nottingham, to be fair, we would still get the road trip. We'd still get to go to all you can eat Chinese. Like
the coolest thing though, of Manchester was that we went to that last Games Workshop store, right, Jamie?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Milton Keynes.
I had a dream about that. I literally had a dream about that last night. Like
last night, yeah.
Literally, it was honestly. I've forgotten that I had it. It was.
That was the best road trip we ever made, man. It was so freaking cool.
Was that Manchester? Yeah, I suppose that was all on video, actually, wasn't it? When they wouldn't let me film with the drone in the store, little bastards.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess we've semi-covered it. We can dive in, but the future of Golden Demon basically is, as long as it makes them money, they'll still do it.
It depends on if we're talking about speculation or wishes. I mean, what we want is a whole other thing. I don't think my list is that long. I think the one in Warhammer World was pretty much spot on. They had people from the studio judging, and Warhammer World is a nice venue.
Yeah, but
those are kind of the two things.
It's way too small. I mean, tickets were already limited back then, right? I don't think back then many painters couldn't enter because they didn't manage to get a ticket. But in these 3 years, right, since 2022, the popularity of GD has exploded. I think if they did it in Warhammer World again, there would be so many people that couldn't manage to go in. I mean, to get a ticket. So many of them. So it's not really an option anymore.
Yeah, it's not possible. I was going to say do it over 2 days, but yeah, it's just not stupid idea. Well, I guess we're all like Golden Demon. We're probably going to keep going for a while, and let's hope they don't cancel it. I would love it if it wasn't in October. That's it. That's my
That is an issue though, yeah, because it's too close to all the other shows.
It's I mean, like I said, I don't think we're going to go to Monty next year because it's too close. Lionel's definitely not going.
Lionel isn't, but Jamie, the ice cream. Are you going to miss on the ice cream?
I do. Do you know what? Honestly, I'm going to miss the lasagna more than the ice cream.
Okay.
But wait, what are we saying? We're not doing Monty next year?
I'm not saying I won't, but it's so tough. My wife hates my guts because I go for 5 days and I go for like 5 days within like 3 weeks, and she's like, I hate you and you're a piece of shit, basically. She's like, do you even love me? And then I say no, and then she cries.
Great question.
So yeah, that didn't happen. So where are we at? We've done it. We've done the meet. We are only 1 hour 7 in, so that's not that bad. Right, where should we go?
Fast as a race car.
Of course, the famous jingle there for Fast as a race car. This is the section where we ask somebody, Albert, 10 questions. You've got 2 minutes to answer them. You have to answer as quick as possible. I think the current record. What did you get? Did you answer? Oh, we did. We only do 10, so it's actually not that hard to finish, is it?
I think Arnaud got more
possible.
questions.
I can answer in one single word, then, right?
Well, I don't think you can answer these in one word.
Okay, fair enough.
You might be able to. Who's got the clock?
I will.
Okay, yeah, Arnaud's got a clock.
Good.
Let me put that. Okay.
Okay, good. Have a swig.
1. Oh.
What's the first thing? This is from Lionel, by the way. What's the first thing you said when you realised you'd won the Slayer sword?
The first thing I said?
Yeah, or thought?
I didn't say anything. I was just very happy, I guess. No words uttered. No words uttered.
How long did the winning model take you start to finish, honestly?
In hours, I don't know, but it was like 5 months of work, more or less, because I started in December, I think, and GT was in May. So around 5 months.
What's the strangest or most awkward conversation you've had at Golden Demon?
At Golden Demon, strangest conversation. Oh shit! I have been I don't know. I cannot think of anything.
It's too awkward to say. Good, I like it. Did you ever have a moment?
Of things, but yeah.
Did you ever have this? Did you have a moment when you nearly didn't enter? I guess that's this year.
No. This year I was going. Oh well, before I started the entry, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of years that I haven't entered, but if I go to GD, I will enter. That's the thing.
That's what she said. What's the weirdest piece of advice you got for someone before the painting competition? Someone telling you something that they think they're better than you, basically.
Well, I mean, some people are better than me for sure, right? So, but weird advice.
30 seconds.
No idea either. These are difficult.
How many color tests or failed bases happened before the final one?
For which model?
For the stored.
0.
Okay, for the orc.
0 as well.
Okay, for this one that you're doing now.
1.
Okay. Good, we got that. What's one non-hobby thing that helped you win? Mindset, music, ritual.
Done. 2 minutes.
No, answer this.
Okay.
We need an answer for this.
Perseverance, I think, and willpower to get on with it, even if I want to do stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, be a man, basically. It's
man.
I mean, willpower is an amazing. I've always said that. That's
because that's the exact situation I'm in right now. I'd rather watch movies in the evening, right? And you have to go and sit down and paint, and I do it, right? So, but then it's worth it at the end. So I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
It's suffering now for, well, not really suffering because I enjoy the process of painting. That's the thing, right? If I did not enjoy painting, then it would be actual torture having to paint every day. But the thing is, sometimes if I eat dinner and then I go, shit, I'd rather be in the sofa. And it's kind of a pain to go and sit down and start painting. But the moment I start painting, then I'm happy. You know what I mean? Because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, it would be the worst thing ever.
You can do something you enjoy, but when you stretch it out in such large quantities or in stress, then it becomes more about you're focused on the goal.
Chore. It can become a chore for sure. Yeah.
But yes, right. So you got 7, I think, Albert. They were hard questions though. Most of those were like you could have conversations about them.
And some of those, I just cannot. I have to think about them because I don't remember. What's the weirdest thing they told you at GD? Yeah. Like I don't know, man.
Lionel let himself down there, basically. With those questions.
You talk to Jamie every day, so that's already the best
maybe
source of weirdness.
Thing was regulation 3.2.5 doesn't allow you to fly drones in Warhammer World. That's probably one of the. Again, you were the target of that phrase.
Yeah, that is true. That was the strangest, and that was awkward as well. Honestly, that was awkward. That's the first time I'd met him. You know that. Literally, I've been speaking to that guy for years online, and then that was how I got introduced to him. Right. So, where are we? We are now at. Oh shit! Hold on.
Busters?
No, we don't have it, mate. Oh shit, we do. No, we do. But wait. Oh, fine.
Give it a rest, mate. Fuck.
I don't remember what that one's for.
What was that for? I don't remember.
It's give it a rest. I think it's when one of us is talking for too long. Any of us can hit that button.
Ah, right.
I know, I think. No, I don't.
Okay, that is the jingle, of course, for Grotbusters. I'll be honest, I don't have any new Grotbusters. I feel slightly, but I spent too long thinking of Grotbusters for Golden Demon, and it's just impossible.
I have one for you, Jamie, if you want. Grotbusters for GD.
Oh, okay, go on.
Should I?
Wait,
has his own weight.
Right. Okay, so last week's. Albert, I don't know if you did these. Probably not, right?
No.
You don't? I don't think you. Yeah, okay, fine. So
I do them sometimes, but not this week.
Pussy. So Grotbusters, for anybody who doesn't know, Arnal, that is an unusual face that you had there. For Grotbusters, anybody who doesn't know, basically, I will give a cryptic clue, and you have to then work out what I'm saying. So the obvious one is that bloke stolen my jeans, and then I'll give you the initials of GS, and that's obviously Gok Psycho. No, Gene Stealer. Or Hive Tyrant would be like, there's I can't remember the Hive Tyrant one, whatever it was good. So that's Grotbusters. The first clue, and we are, just to say, record number of entries this week. 3 people have submitted their things. It's fucking unbelievable. And I believe, Martin, you're winning by 1 point so far.
If you say so. Last week was terrible. Last week was terrible.
That's fine.
Not just your effort, but like me and Arnau were both not in form.
I think my effort was, I mean, the level's pretty consistent. So
it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad. The contestants were bad last week.
Oh yes, they were. I'm
not even sure that Arnau's brother was involved, which is a
no, he was. He came after. He actually emailed me after the show, and he swore down that he hasn't seen the show, and I was like, "That's bullshit, Mark. Get out of here.
Well,
you're as bad as Arnau."
When he emailed you, we didn't upload the episode yet.
I hadn't thought of that.
Because he asked me, and I told him, yeah, we just recorded, but it's not up yet. So you can message Jamie.
Fair play to Mark. So we've had Mark, Paul, and Excavator have all entered. And Paul has, I did not realise Paul has entered more than one. So GK, that's Golf Kilo, okay, for the initials. Nice. I went to Bengal Bertie super late after the tournament, and it was bloody great. Okay.
This one's easy.
I think it's.
I think I have them all 3 this edition, but
I think I've got 2.
Okay, go on then. 3, 2, 1.
Grey Night.
Good, because it was a great night.
Yeah, it's a great night.
Great night. Right, good. N. Okay. Nah, you better not go that way.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I know. I
think it's Nurgle.
Nurgle that way. Fucking hell, Martin, you got to get that, mate. Okay, so that's it. Neck and neck now. Albert, you didn't want to get involved, did you?
Yeah, no clue, man.
Yeah, fine.
But Arnau has caught up basically with
yeah, this is it. This is the deciding point, even though we've got the rest of the world. MG, where's the snowman?
Mark Gibbons.
That would work. Think about it, Albert. Right, MG. It's something from the 40k universe. This one. It's a bit of a hint.
Okay.
Where's the snowman gone? MG.
This one took me a while to.
Oh really?
MG.
Yeah.
MG.
But I think it's more clever. It's clever than the previous one.
Wait, hold on. Arnau, would I know it? Is this?
Yeah, I mean,
that I would know it.
Space.
Yeah, everything is quite.
I thought.
That's a big clue.
I was trying to think about a unit, and then
MG, not C.
Yeah, Mike Golf.
I don't know, mate.
On the spot, Martin. What are you saying? You got it?
I'd say so.
Okay.
I think I do. Yeah. Meltagun.
Yeah, Meltagun. Because of snowman. Where's the snowman gone? Meltagun. Meltagun.
What the fuck is a Meltagun?
Okay, so not obvious to Albert.
No.
I think you've got an illustration by Mark Gibbons with the Space Wolf, and I think he's got a. Oh no, it's a bolter. Fine, there you go, boys.
The bolter, I know what it is, but the Meltagun, I don't know.
You missed the bolter. I can't remember what the bolter tip was, but that was a good tip. Right, so that was the best ever. Well, downhill from here. What can you do? Right, so
now we are neck and neck. This is exciting.
Yeah,
extremely exciting. So next week we're gonna duke it out with the Golden Demon special.
I should write those for you, Jamie, but then Arnau is at a disadvantage against Martin
because they're Golden Demon. Yeah, that's true, but that's his own fault, mate. So
true enough. Arnau gets starting, mate. Maybe because I don't
know anything. Do you have the answers, please, darling?
Now that's of course the jingle for Q&A. It's divulged a bit. It used to be Arnau answered because we used to suck him for knowledge. Q&A. This is quick. We don't have to spend long on these ones, right? Unless we do dive in. But yes, do you guys use mediums for glazing or just water?
Yes. Next one.
Just water. The dirtiest, the better.
Clean water if possible, but only water.
So you both only use water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we might potentially we don't have to spend any time whatsoever on it. I do use mediums.
Oh shit! Now that's a bombshell.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, we'll dive into that next week. So here's one. What would you consider the best way to improve your painting? books, magazines, videos, patrons, workshops, private lessons. I have tons of books and videos, but I never seem to learn off them.
This podcast, by far.
Smart.
The patron on this podcast when it goes out.
I think he forgot to say painting.
Say it. He's asking for. This is a cry for help. This is like, do you know what I mean? So
there was a long list of things, and we've touched on it several times. Not that we can't say it again, but like practice. If you really, sorry, go ahead.
If they're asking for sources, I do think that the private lesson is the best by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of those things, I have to agree definitely. If it's down to like, should I buy another big book? Should I watch more YouTube videos, or get like a private lesson? Yeah, for sure, get a private.
Anything personalized is going to be better.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Just 1 hour or 2 hours will give you more than
Yeah. So you can ask all your questions. You can have things explained and shown to you. That's definitely what you want.
Right, and now we're into the Albert specific ones, obviously knowing that we had him on a guest. I would like to know what motivates you to paint. They don't have to be long, Albert. Consider these short, snappy answers.
Because I like painting. That's the end of it. I enjoy the process of painting, and it lets me develop my, creativity. So, well, not develop it, but put it into practice, I guess.
And after, he said, and what is next after winning basically everything? That's the question.
Well, I mean, I haven't won everything to begin with, but again, it's related to the previous answer, right? It's about, I don't paint to win awards. I don't paint. I mean, I do paint and I enter competitions, but that's not the final purpose of me painting. I paint because I love painting, right? So,
it does kind of sound like both of those questions assume that you're painting to win awards, because the first question is like, do you get motivated by prizes? Yeah, exactly.
Right, because during COVID, there were no shows at all for like 4 years, and I was still painting quite a lot, in fact. So it's not the case.
Exficaticafer asked how you interpret volumes and how he determines what he wants to do when he paints one of his pieces. I feel like that is an open-ended question that could go into a lot more, but
I think most important is before you start painting, selecting where the light sources are in your project. Even if it's like a generic light source and you don't have like crazy, OSL effects or whatever, like kind of deciding where is your main, the main angle from where light is falling on your project, so that you can be consistent throughout. Otherwise, you're bound to fall into inconsistencies in how you interpret these volumes, I think. I don't know, Arnau, anything to add here?
Yeah, I agree a 1,000,000%. Like, there's no project without a very clear.
Because a lot of people start painting without doing proper analytical work of that project before laying any paint on the project. And whenever I do private coachings, it's what I always tell them. Like, you need to look for references, and you need to select your golden views of your project and select where your light sources are, and do some prior, analytical work before you start painting.
The best example actually for this is non-metallic, because if you don't have a source of light, you cannot reflect it. So it's almost impossible to do a good non-metallic without a clear source of light.
We find it so very often, right? Like projects with non-metallics that completely like plain structure and light source structure, right? They just paint like bright spots and dark spots, but they don't make sense at all. So,
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
My own stuff.
All right. Next up.
I don't know if this is a joke or not. I don't really get it. But what's his favorite jabon? What's a jabon? A jabon?
My favorite ham. Of course, the Spanish Iberico or Serrano ham.
Yeah, we have this joke that when you went to
NPO.
No, but sobornar. ¿Cómo es sobornar?
Oh yeah.
What was the bribe? When you want to bribe someone in Spain, you give them a ham because it's very expensive.
What the fuck? That's so cultural and weird.
Good to keep that in mind, actually.
Just have a ham. Ross has asked, what's his approach for planning composition? There's two more after this.
My approach for planning composition is dry fitting things, because miniatures are not 2D art, right? It's they're three-dimensional things. So I like to see if compositions work by physically building those volumes, even if it's just like a blob of blue tag or whatever, or but yeah, it's like doing mock-ups, doing prototypes of the final piece with by dry fitting or or with blue tag or whatever.
How much ham?
It's like sketching with 3D basically.
Yeah. I didn't know Spain people liked ham. I find that weird. The last one, if you were running Golden Demon, what would you change?
The judging panel.
Yeah. Like, because you don't like them as individuals, or no? I guess.
No. I mean, I do like that they have a guest judge, even though I love Roman, but I think that they should somehow make it. Basically, I would have the Slayer of Sword winner be a guest judge for the following year, because then that's objective as to why that person is the guest judge, right? Because
and it gives different perspectives as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Because Roman has done a wonderful job, but after Roman, who will they put there in charge as guest judge, and why should it be that new person, right, and not some other person? Whereas if you set it as a rule, like if you win the sword, the next year you judge, then that's kind of an objective standard as to why that person is
at that point as well, right?
And yeah, I mean that used to be done in the past, in fact. So if only to standardize the reasons, and to make them an objective thing and not a subjective thing as to why that guest judge is the person in charge. But the guest judge is not even what I meant here. Basically, it's I would like the heavy metal to be back in charge, not some random guys from the marketing department or whatever, which as is the case now.
Yeah, I actually completely forgot about that when we were talking about Golden Demon, and we could have had a good old bitch about it. But that ship has sailed. I did forget about the controversy surrounding said judge panel. Well, lads, 1 hour 25, 49 seconds. It's been a pleasure. It's been I enjoyed the intros. It's sometimes nice to just get to a good, to do 4 of them in a row that are dog shit, and to come back, and get that out of your system.
It's
much like Golden Demon entries.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
I said much like Golden Demon entries.
Very true. I was going to say it's good that you didn't have to quit mid-podcast, Jamie.
Yes,
because
indeed.
of the blood poisoning of your.
Does that mean everyone's alive down?
I don't know. I mean, they're not. She's not talking on WhatsApp,
or everyone's dead.
Asleep. Yeah, or both.
Either or.
Or both. Can it be the case that it's both?
Schrödinger cat, but the Schrödinger daughter.
Well, I am looking forward to it, boys. We should rent a car. Have we done that? Or was that
we have rented a car? We have rented the van this time.
Yeah,
the van.
That's done.
And
we even have a place to stay and everything.
Yeah.
Are you asking me if I'm coming?
Good. So,
that's what they call thinking out loud.
No, I'm glad we're all together and we're best friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Best friends forever.
Yes.
The power of friendship.
I'm very interested to see how sad Mark is in general. Right. Because
Mark will join us one day after, right? So we get there on Thursday and he'll arrive on Friday.
On Friday, yeah.
And he also leaves one day before, right? So he'll be there 2 days shorter than we will.
That's good. It means I cannot infect him with happiness. I'm sure he's not as sad as when I last met him, though, in fairness.
He was in a bad place back then.
He was... I've known him a while. Right, boys, thank you very much. Enjoy your evenings. Listeners, do some education or something. Just perk yourselves up. Just stop listening to this.
I'm a bit worried that someone will not understand your banter with them.
Well, they'll know if they're stupid already, right? And if they're smart, they'll know that me saying it means they're not any more stupid. And if they are stupid, they'll take it to heart, and then they actually are stupid.
They're all in the Discord anyway. They can just write to us and double check if we've insulted anyone specifically that don't feel like they deserve it.
Yeah, we just Spotify.
They can insult us back. It's fine.
Oh, even better.
You
Yeah.
can't insult perfection, though, can you? That's the problem with me. Right, boys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Albert. Thank you.
Yep. See you all at Golden Demon in a couple of weeks.
Yep. See you guys.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.